Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes as we are inching closer to the Columbus Day holiday weekend. And we've got a chilly air mass that's built in to the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states today. So we're looking at high temperatures north of New York City through the Hudson Valley and on up into southern New England. It's going to be mostly upper 50s and lower 60s. You head south of there and you're looking at upper 60s to around 70 or so for southern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey to Maryland and northeast Virginia, and everybody in between in northeast Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey to Long Island, New York City, and the lower Hudson Valley will be pretty much in a range of about 60 to 65. There'll be a gusty breeze and some sunshine and a few clouds. It's going to have a very nice autumn feel to the day. And that sets us up for a chilly night with the core of this air mass moving overhead for Friday morning. I'm thinking that there might be just enough of a wind to prevent any kind of widespread inland frost. And we've also noticed that the air is perhaps not quite as chilly as was being indicated earlier this week with the weather systems moving along a bit faster. So most lows for Friday morning, the warmer urban areas will be in the low to middle 40s, as well as the coastal areas. The colder spots as you go north and west of the coast, north and west of Philadelphia, north and west of New York City, north and west of Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. You start to get into some 30s, and particularly up in northeast PA and on up the Hudson Valley and the Connecticut River Valley, you see temperatures down in the middle 30s. And if the winds do drop off, there might be some frost. Also, remember, many of these inland spots have had their first frost back a couple of weeks ago, back in September. So we're moving right along here. We have this air mass moving out, and we're going to start warming up as we head into Friday. For Friday, our afternoon highs are going to be reaching up into the mid 60s to around 70 degrees. Should do it for the high temperatures on Friday. And you can see it here as the map loads. Will be pretty much in a range between 65 and 70 degrees. On the satellite loop this morning, Hurricane Delta stands out in the Gulf of Mexico as according to the Hurricane Center and the way it looks like on the satellite, it's a fairly well-defined hurricane. Top winds are back up to 100 miles an hour. It's heading for the Louisiana coast, where we have warnings up, and this is going to make landfall sometime later Friday afternoon. It still has probably another 24 hours or so of time to strengthen. So we might still see this get back to major hurricane status before it's all said and done. Meanwhile, the Northeast, you see a really wrapped up storm that is moving through between Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, and that, of course, is driving the breeze today between that low and the high. You have a bit of a tight pressure gradient, and we're going to see the wind being kicked around a bit from the northwest. Nothing excessive, but certainly adding to the autumn chill that is in the air. Taking a look at the satellite loop from across Canada, you start to see that the mechanics of everything working here. The storm in the southeastern Canada moving along. Our airflow remains out of Canada with this northwest flow in the upper atmosphere that at least initially is going to hold Delta back a bit as it tries to head to the northeast, but eventually that is going to be giving way. We've got weather systems out in the west that are going to be coming in and altering the pattern a bit late in the weekend and early next week, and that's the main reason why I think we're going to be seeing some of the remnant rains from Delta here moving in during Sunday and probably lasting into part of Monday. So a little weak weather front coming through this morning from the north. It just gives the last shot of cooler air that's behind it. And again, just a little bit of a breeze as we go through the day, but high pressure builds in. And of course, you start to go down south. You see on the surface map the plot of Hurricane Delta. Now, as far as the rainfall is concerned, the Weather Prediction Center's 7-day rainfall forecast. Now, this takes into account the chance that there could be some more showers even on Tuesday going into Wednesday. But the rain could be robust here over that 3-day period. So we're looking at area 2.5 inches or more being indicated across central and eastern Pennsylvania into northern New Jersey, and a generous 1 to 2 inch rainfall for much of the area from Pennsylvania to southern New England. The drought is still in force in southeastern New England, so this will be another solid dent if it plays out. And as far as the range from Delta for the Gulf Coast, you see the streak of 5 to 10 inch rains into western Louisiana again, and those heavy rains running up the lower Mississippi Valley and eventually turning east. So if you follow the rain band by the way WPC is seeing this, you could just pretty much track the remnant low in this direction, somewhere coming in this way. So we'll give it our own little um, cone of uncertainty here, but remember, it's a remnant low, so it's really all about the rain and nothing else. And sometimes you can get hit with some pretty heavy rains with these tropical systems. The Appalachians might help to keep the tropical rains from coming in, but on the other hand, we do have an onshore flow that's going to be setting up, and that is going to feed in some moisture from the Atlantic. So I'm thinking again, we could see a couple of inches of rain spread out over a few days between the remnant low for Sunday, later Sunday and Monday, and then the next weather system that follows. You can see the GFS model here on from the standpoint of rainfall. It's pretty much lining up with that. Actually, it's probably a little bit less. So WPC is just enhancing it a bit. So here's how it's going to work. Of course, we've got no issues today, no issues tomorrow, other than the chilly night coming up tonight. And Saturday will be the better of the holiday weekend days. Start to bring in that rain for Sunday. You see the high up to the north in Canada Sunday morning. There's rain across Virginia and the Delmarva Peninsula. Starts to spread northward Sunday afternoon. The models have been going back and forth with either speeding it up or slowing it down. So we're just going to kind of stay with the idea that rain will move in maybe into southern New Jersey and southern Pennsylvania late Sunday morning or early Sunday afternoon and reach New York City and Long Island and southern New England sometime late Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. And then we get into this rain for Sunday night through Monday. This area is going to gradually weaken here. We've got another weather front pushing in from the west, and that will keep some showers lingering around Monday night and again during the day on Tuesday. And even on Wednesday, that front is going to hang around a little bit because we have to wait for another stronger front to come through later on next week. So, check of what's going on with Delta as we look at the latest reconnaissance aircraft that is there right now. We're showing that the pressure has dropped down. It looks like on the last read, I'm estimating probably at around 966 millibars, and we're seeing flight level winds up to about 90 knots and surface 10-meter winds at about 70 knots or 85 miles an hour. The Hurricane Center is carrying 100 on the official advisory. So it seems like we've been watching the pressure drop slowly during the night, and it continues. That trend continues during the day. And here's what it looks like plotted out. 969 was the measured plot by the Air Force, the Air Force plane, which is making its second pass around as of 8:30 Eastern times. Tight satellite view, still no sign of an eye. But you do have the outflow here showing up pretty nicely on the satellite, a little bit of feathering of the clouds, usually an indication that maybe a strengthening trend is getting underway. Not seeing much evidence of shear. And at the moment, along the Louisiana Gulf Coast, we should emphasize there really isn't too much going on other than some clouds. So the forecast track from the hurricane models is very, very tight. Going in, it looks like the models have shifted a little bit further to the west, a little bit closer to Lake Charles. So we're going to have to watch that closely. That area, of course, was already hit hard by Hurricane Laura. So that shift to the west is a very important one to watch for. And the hurricane models are all tightly clustered. And then we watch the remnant low accelerate out to the northeast. And the intensity models and the last run of model guidance, just going to check to see if there's a fresh one, and there isn't yet. But basically a strong 2 to a weak category 3, quote unquote. I don't know how else to say. A weak category 3 hurricane is still a category 3 hurricane. And on the latest advisory from the Hurricane Center, as of 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time, 23.7 north, 92.3 west, top winds 100 miles an hour, moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. You can, by the way, find all the latest hurricane information by going to nhc.noaa.gov. And with respect to the position, that is 425 miles south of Cameron, Louisiana, which is where the eye of Hurricane Laura wound up passing very close to. And the warnings are east of Sabine Pass to Morgan City. We have a hurricane warning that is in effect, and tropical storm warnings on either side, including the city of New Orleans. So we'll be keeping our eyes on Delta and whatever we think, whatever's going to happen here with respect to the weekend. We'll keep you posted. There'll be extra coverage as always on my weather platform on Patreon, which is a great way to support what I'm doing. And it's where the winter weather coverage is going to be. So just bear that in mind. Uh, the new members and current members, if you sign up for a year on any of the subscription tiers, which start at $2 a month, if you sign up for a year, you get 15% off. And that's like getting 2 months free. You get extra videos, extra posts, minimal ads, if no ads at all. We also have podcasts, and you can message me at any time for a quick response. All right, it went a little long today, but there was a lot going on. So have a great rest of your day. The Joe and Joe Weather Show tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on my YouTube channel, Joe Cioffi.